Today, we're going to talk about a classic thing, which is making a list. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. This episode is brought to you by Jane, a clinic management software built to help you focus on what matters most, your patients. Building rapport with your patients is important during appointments, and that can be challenging when you're also trying to take timely and detailed documentation. That's why Jane built AI Scribe to help you document important information without the manual note-taking. This feature transforms your sessions, seriously, it's amazing, into chart entries, and all you have to do is review your notes, sign the chart, and you're done. And since security is a top priority at Jane, seriously, it is so important to them. AI Scribe was built securely in-house to be fully HIPAA and PIP EDA compliant. With a tool you can trust, Jane helps you spend more time on patient care. To learn more about how Jane can help change how you feel about documentation, head to meet.jane.app/documentation to book a demo or sign up. And if you're ready to go, don't forget to use my code LEX1MO for a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. And if you're curious about AI Scribe, I highly recommend you go ahead and take a demo with Jane because I saw it in action and it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am having a really great weekend. I will say I've spent the entire weekend at my desk. I believe I started working yesterday morning around 7 in the morning. Obviously took breaks to take Moose out to the bathroom because she was sick yesterday. Went grocery shopping, eating normal stuff and what have you. Watched a little bit of volleyball, but really spent the entire day getting ready for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, not Black Friday. I'm going to be running a 24-hour sale on Monday the 2nd, just when everybody else is doing their Cyber Monday. And I'm excited. I sent out an email to my list today, and that really goes along with what I'm going to say now of I'm keeping the details close to my chest. I say that with a little bit of an exasperated tone, just because I'm I don't feel comfortable saying what I'm offering and what I'm launching for you publicly right now, just because there has just been some weird behavior, and I won't go further into it because realistically, at the end of the day, it's not helpful. And the only action item I have is to show up differently. But I will tell you that it has changed the way that I'm choosing to do things right now, which may not be forever. But anyway, you'll get the details on Monday when I open up the doors. The first email will be at midnight. And there will be limited spots for 2 offers, potentially a third, but I'm not sure on that one yet. I still have to think about that. I have, like I said, limited spots. There will be 10 for one and 5 for a different one. And then the other one that might happen, I just need to think through logistical stuff, and I'm not sure I'm going to do it. So we'll see what happens. But all of that being said, there will be limited spots. So the first email goes out at midnight PST on Monday the 2nd, and you will have until 11:59 PST on that day. It's never before launch stuff. And I say that meaning I have been creating stuff since I think Thursday night. I've built so many new things, and I'm really excited about it. So all that to come next Monday. It will literally be a week from today. But aside from that, just LextroMind is coming up. So if you're a brick and mortar practice owner and you want to get started online, LextroMind is definitely the best place to be in. I do want to read a little Voxer note that I got from a client who was in LextroMind. She said 16 total purchases on my Flash B-Day sale. Pretty freaking excited for some, she knows what this means, like passive in quotes income, because we all know that passive income isn't actually passive. Thank you for all your support. None of this would be possible without you. And total number of programs that she has launched since LextroMind is 98 purchases. So, and almost 10K of revenue. So that is just amazing. And one example of this person who is a full-time clinician, but added this extra revenue stream onto her income, which is just amazing. So she is super happy about that. And I just received that today. So just really excited for, folks who go through LextroMind, we see the success of folks still. We've had 2 rounds so far, and it's just like, yes, keep going. And just so proud of them. Shantae and I love LextroMind a lot. It just gives us, it's so rewarding to help folks who understand, because you've built a brick and mortar practice. So it's like online, like we got you. Okay. So with all that being said, I am looking at my to-do list for today, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about to-do lists. So I was at volleyball on Wednesday, I believe. And after class, we kind of sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and just chit chat, whatever. And there was a question about whether or not we were going to play this weekend, if our coach's daughter's game, if they won or what have you. And we were sitting there and I said, I would love to play, but I don't know what, my to-do list is 1,000,000 miles long, and I have so much to get done in the next week because I had started thinking about Cyber Monday, yada, yada, client work, all the things. And I was like, I will probably be able to play, but I have to think through my stuff. And it ended up becoming a deep dive with 2 other people about how, to-do lists are magical because you know exactly what you need to do. And oftentimes, however you're picturing what you need to do is oftentimes not as bad. Or if it is as bad as you're thinking about it and you actually have a lot to do, building that list actually helps you get it out of your brain so you're not wondering what you have to do. So a couple things there. I struggle with a little bit of, it's like I do have a general anxiety for sure. I'm more on the anxiety spectrum than the chill, calm, cool, collected all the time. So I definitely am on that side of the spectrum. But also when it comes to tasks, I have this catastrophic vision in my head oftentimes where I'm like, I have so much to do, but then I actually write it down and I'm like, oh, it's a lot, but it's not that bad. I do feel like most times when I talk to people, that is the case. And it's across the board, honestly. It's folks who are in my inner circle. It's folks who are in my SEO school. It's folks who are in my retainer. And one of my retainer tasks for folks and how that operates is they give me a to-do list, right? So I can offer suggestions of what I would do, but oftentimes I also ask for a to-do list from them. Right? So having them write out their to-do list, they give it to me. That might feel huge to them, but then once they get it up and done and submitted, then it's oftentimes a lot smaller in their brain. And also, obviously, they're outsourcing it to me, but it also allows me to plan on my end and I know exactly what to do. For my own side of things, sometimes I will feel I have anxiety and I will just say I have so much to do. And sometimes I will just take care of that and I will make my to-do list, and I'll go into that in a second. But I will make my list and I move on. Sometimes I just can't get past the frustration where I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to do. And I will say it out loud to Shantae, and she will oftentimes say did you make a list? What do you actually have to do? Tell me what you actually have to do. And I'll look at her and I'll be like, oh man, I didn't make my list yet. So just know, I'm not perfect in this situation either, but I do have this little to-do list pad that always sits on my desk. And there are weeks where I make my entire to-do list on that. There are weeks where I don't touch it. There are some months where I don't make a list, not one list at all. But I will tell you that when I feel overwhelmed or I feel like I have a million things to do, making a list really does consolidate your mental energy so that when you have said list out, you have everything you need to do on paper. Now you can just focus on going and checking things off. And like I am the person who puts it on a piece of paper. Even if it wasn't there prior, if I did it, I put it on there so I can check it off because that's a dopamine hit. And the two people I was talking to with after volleyball, they had said the same thing I do. Sometimes I will actually get like a permanent marker and cross the pen out with a permanent marker so that you can't see it anymore and be like, yeah, got it done. Crossed all the way out. I can't even see you. You weren't even ever an item on my list. So I obviously have some fun with it, but all that to say, if you're feeling like you have a lot to do, regardless of what a lot means, because a lot is very different for me than it is for someone who has other humans they care for, like kids, right? So I know that a lot is very different in our realm. And it's also a lot based on your own capacity. Like I am very well aware that my capacity is very different than someone who may feel super overwhelmed if they have more than 3 things to do, or someone who has really debilitating, I'm just going to say like any sort of diagnosis, like anything where they need to rest often. I know that this is existing, like this is a thing. So again, it's always going to be relative as far as how much do we write down on the to-do list? How do we do this? What do you know works for you? For me, I will literally brain dump a list. I will brain dump everything I need to do. And oftentimes I think in 2 weeks at a time. So I know that we're traveling this week. So I wrote down everything I need to do all of this week, all of next week, and then half of the week after, just so that I can have it down. And I know exactly what needs to happen in the next 3 weeks. And then I have a full list. Then what I'll do is, like I have today, I have certain things that I need to do today. They literally cannot be done tomorrow. They can't be done Wednesday. They can't be done next Saturday. They have to be done today. So I will highlight those things on my list and say, okay, these are today's tasks. I'll do those first, know that they're done, and then I'll move on. And if you're a person where you're like, I can only do 3 things, cool. Like choose your top three things. Sometimes you literally just have more than 3 things to be done. So do that. Like you have to do the things that have to be done, but that's where highlighting them by day can really help. So my message today, it's a really short one. I know. My message today is to write a list down. This is an overwhelming time in most people's lives, in most people's businesses, in most people's home. It's busy. I know this. If you have tasks to be done, don't rely on your brain to like keep all of that somewhere. Get a list and write it down. They make some big ass Post-its on, you can buy them. We don't shop on Amazon, but you can buy them at Office Depot, Staples, Amazon, whatever you choose to do. They make some big ass Post-it notes, or get a whiteboard and you can just write down everything on that space. And it can be separated into family. It can be separated into work, like whatever you need to do to brain dump, have that brain dump out. And then you get to check things off. And I think that if you're someone who loves a little dopamine hit, then checking things off is nice. If you're someone who doesn't really care, at least you're able to just erase it or get it off your mind once it's done. Right? And then maybe you replace it with something else. I don't know. Because I feel like sometimes that's what happens to me. I'll cross one off and have to add another thing. But anyway, write it all down, make the list, and actually understand what you have to do and what has to happen today, what has to happen tomorrow. Because, Shantae introduced me to, I don't know who said it originally. Maybe it was her. If you wait till last minute, it'll only take a minute. Like that's also a thing. So if you wait until last minute, it will only take the minute that you have to get it done. So just know that writing it down, planning it out, if you decide to spend all day doing one task, if you only have one task on your brain, it's likely going to take all day. If you were to add 3 other tasks that you need to get done in that time, you will make it fit the space. That is the law of, what law is that? I can't remember. Where work fills the amount of time that you allotted. So just know that there are lots of things coming into play here, but my biggest ask for you is, instead of saying you have a lot to do, can you get super tactical and write it down? Like write down exactly what you have to do, when you have to do it by, and know that the to-do list can be super long. That's fine. Like, we always bastardize a really long to-do list. I actually don't mind that. It's more or less just have the long to-do list, but then have a way to separate out the immediate things or the today things. The super long to-do list is not a problem in my mind. It's only a problem if you say, I have 32 things to do and I have no idea what needs to be done first, which also, I understand neurodivergence. That can be a problem. If it's easiest for you to separate them by day, do that. Like, also understand, categorize it, whatever you need to do. Find a way that making lists can make you have less stress, less anxiety, less well, I have a lot to do type of attitude toward the things, so that way you can devote all of your energy toward actually doing the things on the list and checking it off. All right, friends, that's all I've got for you today. Again, next Monday, Cyber Monday sale. Super excited about it. If you're on my email list, you'll get a notification. If you're not, there will be a link in the show notes to join the email list. Otherwise, I will chat with you then. Have a great rest of your week. I will catch you next time.